Coming up next on Columbus Connections, you know about Goodwill, but I bet you don't know all of the services that they offer. We're going to tell you about them now, and especially something for veterans, so stay tuned. Welcome to Columbus Connections. I am your host, David Britt, and today we are talking about Goodwill. Now, you know Goodwill as the place that you go to donate your clothes at the end of the year. You even know Goodwill about the place to go get some nice bargains and some great things for yourself. But I bet you didn't know all of the services that they offer: job training and workforce placement. They've even got something great coming up for veterans. So we're going to discuss all of that, give you a whole new outlook on what Goodwill does for this community. And I have the perfect person with me for it, Miss Julie Bennett.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, we've had Goodwill on here a lot, but this is your first time. So
it is my first time.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Goodwill's Director of Marketing and Communications. I've been with Goodwill for 5 years. Prior to that, I have over 20 years of corporate marketing. So I've been in corporate, most of my career in corporate marketing, but I came to Goodwill 5 years ago and I love it. I'm never want to go back. I love what I'm doing. It's an awesome organization.
It is. So as far as serving the community, Goodwill is one of those best kept secrets where people know it for the clothing, whether it's donation or thrifting, which became extremely popular recently. But those other services, tell us about those other services Goodwill does.
You absolutely hit the nail on the head. We are, I think, the country's best kept secret. Yeah. Everyone knows about Goodwill as a place to donate, gently used merchandise, and you can get great deals in our stores. People are very confused about what we do with the proceeds from the sale of those donated goods. Right. So basically, you bring in your donations, we sell them in our retail store, and then they are used to fund we have 9 career centers in our region. So something else I would say about Goodwill, important to know, there's Goodwill International, which is headquartered near Washington, D.C. And then underneath the Goodwill International umbrella are 160 some odd regional operating Goodwills. And so we have regions. And the reason they do that is because each region has different employment needs and so on. It really is to be able to address the unique needs of these respective regions. So our region, you probably often hear commercials and different things that say Goodwill of the Southern Rivers. And what that means, that's our territory. Our territory is 50 counties. It goes from Carrollton in the north all the way down to Valdosta and over to Auburn, Alabama. And so that's the territory that this Columbus headquartered Goodwill serves.
Gotcha.
And in that region, we have 13 retail stores and 9 career centers. So the proceeds from the sale of those donated goods are used to fund those career centers. And when I say fund, I mean everything from the career center space itself to the staff that supports that career center to all of the programs that we have to offer. And so that's the secret and what I really want to focus on more today.
Awesome. And that's a great place to start. So when you whether you're donating clothes or buying clothes, that your service to your community doesn't stop there through Goodwill.
Oh, that's the beginning.
Yeah.
That's actually the beginning of the cycle. Yeah. The end is, so we sell the items, we fund the career centers, which are staffed with career center specialists, and anyone in this community, regardless of income or education, it doesn't matter what your socioeconomic background is, we will help you at Goodwill in our career centers for free, absolutely for free. So if you're looking for a job, We partner with employers across our territory. We have job boards. We have computers that people can come in and use for free. So if you don't have a computer at home and you need to work on a resume,
Right.
not only can you use our computers, but we have Career Center specialists who work with you to help
Oh,
you
wow.
create it. You know, interviewing for a job is an intimidating task, right?
Yeah, yeah.
People are nervous, even if they are, you know, have a lot of experience. That idea of going and presenting yourself and selling yourself.
Right. It's like a
isn't-
job trying to get a job.
It is a job trying to get a job. So our Career Center specialist will work with you to develop your resume, get it, you know, ready, and then we even will help you through mock interviews. So we'll do a role play with you and help you practice and really refine your interviewing skills. And we can even introduce you to employers where we know
Wow.
that there are positions available. We host job fairs, and again, that's free. Anyone in the community can come in and take advantage of those services at no charge.
Wow, and that's great. You spoke about a lot, but that's really the full process from beginning to end of the job search process. Whether you're intimidated and want to get back into the market and don't know quite how to do it, may not be as best on preparing a resume, may not know how to reach out to those employers. You take them from walking in the door to the Goodwill to walking into their first day at work.
And you know, there's more.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a piece on the career side, but we also offer training. So if you need training on basic computing skills, our specialists will also help to provide that. One thing I'm really passionate about, something that we're doing, is we offer through our Roundup at the Register program. If you round up at the register when you purchase in a store, those proceeds are used to fund scholarships for those
wow.
people who don't have GED. So if you are out there and you don't have your GED, your high school diploma or a GED, and perhaps the cost of doing that has really kept you from doing so, you can come to Goodwill, and this again is for anyone, and apply and get a GED scholarship. Not only GED scholarship, but GED prep. We will help you. We have partnerships with the technical colleges in our region, Columbus Tech here, obviously, and we partner with them to deliver the prep and allow people to take the test for free. So that's another area, something that we do. Another area that's really important, you and I talked about this earlier, is that I'm hearing from employers across this region that the workforce, it's not so much that they lack technical skills, they lack soft skills.
Correct.
So we've been working on soft skills training for a long time. That's something that's been part of our curriculum through the Goodwill Career Centers and our education and training centers for quite a long time.
And for those that may not be familiar with the term soft skills, tell us about what that is.
Thank you for bringing that up. Soft skills meaning the importance of being to work on time.
Yeah.
Knowing how to dress for success and what's the appropriate attire for work. Effective communication skills.
Yes.
So a great example of a communication skill that would be helpful, if you are given a task on a job and you don't really understand the task. Some people are afraid to ask, and so we work with you to help you understand, how do you communicate with your manager? How do you communicate with others that you're working with so that you can be successful in the job place, the workplace? Our biggest goal, I mean, we want to help place you into a job, yes, absolutely. But what we really want to do is to be able to help move people out of poverty and into a long, lifetime, sustainable mode of employment.
Right.
That's
Yes.
what we want to do. So whatever,
Yes.
if there are barriers that you face, be it GED or other credentials, we'll help you with other credentialing programs as well, and identifying what you want to do, how do you get there. You may have a dream that you want to be in heating and air conditioning repair. You understand that might be a good place to go. Where do you go to school? How do you get those credentials? Goodwill can help you with that.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot.
Yeah, and then you also do free tax preparation.
Yes, we do. We do. So if you have a household income of $54,000 a year or less, Goodwill will prepare your taxes for free.
Wow.
No surprises, no hidden fees. We have a partnership with the IRS, and we have trained volunteers who do taxes. So last year alone, we prepared over 4,000 tax returns for free.
Yeah, and these are professional tax. This isn't just somebody doing community service. These guys are trained, and they know what to do for your taxes.
Yes, they do. One of the reasons this is near and dear to our hearts is because there are a lot of unscrupulous tax preparers out there. So they will offer you a rapid refund. It's not really a refund, it's often a loan, and that loan is at an extremely high interest rate.
Right.
And so our goal is for the taxpayer to keep as much of their money as possible without giving exorbitant fees to tax preparers.
Right.
So we offer a place that you can trust, and we'll start. We do taxes all year round, but we'll start for this year in January, so be on the lookout for that.
And that's another important thing. People don't get that sometimes you may need to contact your tax preparer after tax season. And if it's one of those fly-by-night tax and car wash places, you're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, they have boarded up and gone home.
Yeah.
But we'll help you. We have people who have, for various reasons, they're behind. They haven't filed, and they haven't filed extensions. And so they can come in, and we will work with them. We will work with the IRS and work together with the person to get them caught up, get them on a payment plan, get everything worked out. And I know the words IRS, that kind of strikes fear in the heart of most people, but I can tell you that in our experience, most of the time they want to work with you.
Right.
They would rather work with you than to threaten you or garnish wages or put liens on property. They don't want to do that. They'd rather work with you. So, you can come to us and we'll work with you. And I think the biggest thing is knowing that it really is for free.
Yes.
There are no hidden fees and no surprises. And so it's a free resource. One other thing I'll say about taxes is that I think there's an abundance of they're like payday lenders, but these tax preparers that charge high fees, and they tend to prey on military. They tend to really focus on military because a lot of our young enlisted people aren't making a lot of money, and they may need cash, or they identify them and they prey on them and they target them specifically. And so again, we want to make sure that people know that it's just a different resource. It's another option for you.
Yeah. So that Goodwill. Let's break the list down now. If you need to get a GED, there are scholarships available through Goodwill to get it.
Yes.
So now you've got your GED and you're ready to pursue higher heights in the job market, but you're not really sure on how to go about it. You all do job training. You all do resume preparation. If you're prepared and you're qualified for that job, but maybe your soft skills and your communication, and that needs work, you do that as well. So you get them into the job, and now you've got the job, you're self-sufficient, but every year Uncle Sam wants his, you help them file taxes for free as well.
Yep.
And that's just the tip. That's just a little bit of what.
That's just a little bit. And one other thing that we do is that, so you've got that job and now you have a steady income coming in. We have, we teach financial classes, so budgeting and how to manage your expenses and credit counseling. And we don't do the credit counseling per se, but we have community partners and resources, and we work together with you if you're struggling in that area to find help.
Wow.
Because we know that that's another piece of the puzzle. You're getting paid and you need to be able to know how to manage your money effectively.
Yeah. Now, there's something that you all are doing specifically with Veterans Day coming up. We definitely want to highlight this. But you all are specifically have something coming up for veterans.
We do. We're excited about it. Of course, we're coming into November. It's November, and I think, I know for me personally, when I hear November, I think Veterans Day.
Yeah.
I think we all associate veterans, and being here in Columbus, Fort Benning,
Right.
Veterans and those who
Right.
work for our military are always on our minds. So we work with veterans 365 days a year. It's not something we just reserve for November.
Yeah.
But in honor of Veterans Day and to kind of call attention in a bigger way to what we do with veterans, we are hosting a job fair on November 8th at our campus on Macon Road, right off Macon Road, for veterans. So we have partnered with a couple of 2 or 3 different organizations here in the community, and we have about 50 employers who are going to be there. And the last I heard, there were several hundred jobs that were available. And so, really anyone is welcome, but it really is intended for veterans.
Yeah, yeah. And you all have programs for veterans to help them transition into civilian life?
We do. We absolutely do. And of course, our focus is always around the work and employment aspects. So there are
Gotcha.
different resources that help with other issues that veterans in particular face, such as PTSD and that sort of thing. That's not us.
Right.
But when it comes to transitioning out of military life and into civilian life from a work perspective,
Gotcha.
that's what we do.
Gotcha.
And so we help our veterans take their resume, for instance. So they've got this very strong military resume, but they don't really know how to translate those skills into a civilian resume. And I can give you a great example, someone that I know of who worked in logistics for the military. And really, all of that work and the experience was a great transition for them into supply chain. So it's really kind of looking at it saying, okay, well, the logistics meant, getting things from point A to point B. Businesses around the world
Right.
need that. They have to have it. Manufacturers, consumer goods companies, that sort of thing. So our Career Center specialists who are trained in this very thing can work with our veterans to help redo that resume and make it more suitable for civilian business and not just military.
Awesome. Now, you have a veteran with you that is actually a part of the Goodwill workforce.
I do.
Right.
I do. Mr. Alex Carlisle. Alex has worked for us 9 years. He is just a delightful person to be around. He's a 25-year retired military, Navy specifically, veteran. He is decorated. He is a tremendous person. He has shared with me a bit about the difficulties of getting out of the military and saying, okay, what now? Where do I go from here? This is all I've known, my entire adult life is being in the military. And he came to Goodwill, and he's going to share with you his story. I think you'll find it really, really fascinating and interesting. One thing, though, I do want to say is that Alex works for us, for Goodwill, but we help veterans find jobs outside of Goodwill,
Right.
too.
Yeah.
So it's not just working with us, but working with other employers as well.
Yeah, awesome. We're going to speak with Alex, but before we bring him on, tell us again when the Veterans event is and how people can contact you for more information.
The Veterans Day event is actually the 8th, 3 days before actual Veterans Day, and it is at the Goodwill Community Campus, which is off of Macon Road behind Longhorns and TJ Maxx. So
Right.
if you're familiar with where that area, there's going to be a lot of activity. It's going on from 4 to 8 that particular day. The last I saw, we had over 50 employers, and it's going to be a great opportunity for our veterans.
Good, good. And how can people contact Goodwill?
I would recommend that you contact or go to our website at goodwillsr.org, and also follow us on Facebook.
Yeah.
And there are flyers there about the job fair.
Awesome.
And also on our website.
Gotcha. Well, there you have it, folks. When we come back, we're going to talk to a great veteran who's working with Goodwill to do a great service. Stay tuned.
Man, I wish the city would fix these darn potholes. Someone needs to report this.
Has this ever happened to you and you didn't know who to call? It's simple. Dial 311 or 706-653-4000. Columbus 311 Citizen Service Center. Our goal is to provide complete, accurate, and timely information to citizens and employees regarding complaints, inquiries, and requests for information. Columbus 311 Citizen Service Center, your direct link to city service.
My name is Theopers Williams, and I'm a custodian engineer for Goodwill. I've been working for Goodwill for 2 years, one of them with PWI. These people think I'm somebody, and I really look forward to coming to work, and it builds up my self-confidence and everything. Lots of listings of jobs, and they help you train for the job, they help you do a resume. Keep up the good work. It sounds crazy, but sometimes I'm looking forward to going to work. I want to go to work and I want to be around my friends. And I really like being here. I'd rather be here than any place.
My name is Eric T. Preston. I'm originally from Columbus, Georgia. Initially, I was semi-paralyzed on my left side. I made up my mind to work hard to get close to where I was pre-stroke. My counselor recommended to me Goodwill. I didn't realize that Goodwill did so much. So I do see myself somewhere in the world gainfully employed, and it was all be because of Goodwill.
Welcome back to Columbus Connections. Now, you just heard a few testimonials from some great veterans in our community, but I have one with me right here to talk about Goodwill and talk about life as a veteran in the Tri-City area. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Alex Carlisle, pleasure to have you here.
I appreciate that.
And thank you for your service.
I appreciate that also. Thank you.
For your military service and for what you do with Goodwill.
I'm very proud of my Goodwill service here. We actually do a lot for not just veterans, but for people with disabilities, whether that's mental and or physical. And I've been dealing with them for the 9 years I've been working with Goodwill. So that's a really challenging and a rewarding for me to actually help people.
Yeah, it's so, I can't understate how great it is, because you all do some of the things that I hear so many people say, why isn't somebody doing this, or why don't we have this? And it's right there in front of you at a place like Goodwill, and it's not just one, like you said, it's not just one segment or one group. There are so many people that this helps.
Yes, I come in contact with a lot of veterans, even though they're veterans not going to Goodwill, because our campus actually has a veterans center that has counseling for veterans. I don't know exactly all the problems they may have, but there is a veteran center on our campus. So I'm contacted with them when I'm going around doing my work, and if they need a job or anything like that, I'll tell them to go right across the way, and then they can go and get some of our services, whether it's career counseling or help with their resume, whatever they need that they will get help with. And I know myself as I retired, even before I retired, I was scared. I was scared. I was like, this is my job. This is all I know. What am I going to do when I have to get out?
Yeah.
So when you see people like that, you want to help them. Yeah. And we do that here at Goodwill.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit more about that. You got out of the military and you're looking at it and not sure what to do, or rather tell me how Goodwill would help someone in that situation.
As a veteran, like I said, you can go to our Career Center, and where they will help you with your resume, your applications, computers, if you don't have a computer at home. In my case, at least I had a GED, but if you didn't, you can get GED, you can go college prep, they even have that for that. Mock interviews, so all the things like that you can get as a veteran. And not only that, we have our Education and Training Center where, people who maybe come out with, some issues where they have, whether it's, like I said, mental and or physical, they go to our training center, they can get help there too. They train them and, to get jobs. And basically that's what Goodwill's about. We trying to get you a job. Yeah. We'll train them, get them, like I said, get them out of the military mode into the civilian mode, know what to do when you go to get an interview, and know how to talk, and they just help you with every little detail that you would need to go and transition from a military to a civilian career.
Gotcha. And you teach some of those classes yourself, correct?
I teach the class, what I do is hands-on training with a custodial. But not only that, I also partner with the counselors over there with work evaluations and to get them a job. So I help with work evaluations. Most people don't know, but Goodwill has a affiliate job fair called PowerWorks Incorporated. Excuse me. So we own a cleaning company on Fort Benning. Okay, and a lot of veterans and people going through our programs can get a job there because the actual program at Fort Benning is targeted for people with disabilities. We have to have a certain amount of people with disabilities in order to keep our government program. It's called Ability One. And you have to have at least, I believe, 80% people have to have that disability in order to keep that program. They clean various buildings throughout Fort Benning.
Awesome.
And
awesome.
I help, my help on that in sense is they'll call sometimes and say, who's available you have in training right now, and I will give them the names of who's the best fit for that job.
Wow, that's awesome. That's, like I said, you all are helping so many different parts of the population, from veterans to those with disabilities to those who just need to get back on their feet and get back in the right path.
That's correct. A lot of people don't know about our training facility. If you went there, in some parts of it, you would think you was at McDonald's, and then another part you would think you was in the hospitality, portion, because we got a bed set up and like it's a hotel room. We teach them how to change the beds and do all those too, if that's what they want to go do.
Gotcha. Now, and you said this in so many ways already, but to that veteran that's watching that may be thinking of retirement or maybe have just left and is not sure of what way to go and what to do, what do they need to do as far as connecting with Goodwill and getting that help they need?
The first thing I always tell them is go to our Career Center first. They can tell you where to go if you need to go to our education and training, you need to usually get referred. And they'll tell you where to go to get referred. So you can go through that, and that's going to be free for them. Everything, like you said, is free. All our programs are free because we go through the stores. That's how we get the programs started. So you would tell them to go to Career Center. Career Center will help them and tell them what they need to do, whether it's, like say, job training, their resumes, their applications, their mock interview skills, and so forth. They will always get that at Goodwill.
Gotcha. So remember, whether you're a veteran or able, Goodwill has something for you, especially to our veterans. Remember this date, November 8th. Goodwill Industries is partnering with the Department of Labor. It's going to be a great job fair for you. But to everyone else, Goodwill is a great place. Job training, soft skills, resume preparation, taxes. This is a great resource for our community, so let's make sure we use it. Again, thank you for watching. Be sure to reach out to Goodwill on their website or on their Facebook, and let's make the community a better place. This is Columbus Connection.